let's move to the last story for the day. About Edo State's intention to introduce an API integration for ride-hailing platforms in the state. And should I leave you to guess why? Or because if you've been following the trends with Nigerian state and ride-hailing platforms in the past few weeks, you would guess. But let's just let you know what it's about.
All right. Yeah. So Edo State is planning to create an API that ride-hailing platforms can integrate with, right? And the reason for this is so that those platforms or those companies can share that data with the state government. Interestingly, they made this announcement, I think, during an event that both hosted, and which probably means that both is on board with the whole API integration things
And data sharing.
yeah,
stuff.
data sharing stuff. So, like, Tim Gozrim, let me anticipate your next question. You probably want to know, okay, why does Edo State government want to? Okay, you're looking at was that the next question?
Yes, the next question.
All right. So, why does Edo State want these companies to share data? Why do they want them to integrate? So, one of the things, because it has happened in Lagos State government, right? Lagos State government did the same thing, and they said the reason is because, okay, this data, this information, tells us, we know, okay, how do people, what's transportation like, right? What do people need? What do we need to improve on? Things like that, right? And kind of makes sense. You want to know how people are moving. Well, but I don't know why you're doing that more with ride-hailing platforms and not more with the buses and the Korokways that most of us actually use, because most of us don't have money for Uber. So, but those are the reasons why they want to know these things, and also for safety, right? So that if something happens, authorities can get to this point. But I think was laughing.
So I like that you mentioned the ideal thing that
what they said.
Yeah, ideal reasons why any government would want to have access to commuters' data. Chimgozwim, now tell us the things that are not ideal that is possible for them to use the data for.
So, plenty things are not ideal.
Okay.
First of all, I believe they have bigger problems.
You mean government?
Yeah, the government. In fact, the country, the states. I'll not say what I want to say, but I think that the country has bigger problems than trying to get data off Uber and Bolt and the other guys, because I don't think you just stop with Uber and Bolt, right? So we have bigger problems than API integration, which I don't even know the technological capacity they have for them to do all of this. But let's leave that one aside. Okay, so why do you want to do this? Let me start with the funny reason. You want to improve security, bro. Lives are still unsecured in the country, and you're struggling to do that one.
Baby steps.
You should take baby steps in other ways, because I don't see how knowing what happens during rides is going to improve security. So first problem is, at least with what we've seen in Lagos, the government wants live data. Uber says no, we cannot give you live data. So there's still that fight. We don't want to give you live data. We can't give you live data. And personally, I would not want the government knowing my movement in real time. In fact, if there's a way for you to find out my movement after like 70 years, fine, I'll do that. In real time, in Nigeria, that's not exactly a mouth-watering prospect. So I do not know why that's the hill they want to stand on. I'm not say die on, but yeah, that's up on security. I do not see how it solves security problem either way. On the other part, I agree that having that data can help with planning.
Yeah.
Infrastructure planning.
Yes, only problem now is there's no evidence on ground that you're using data from any other source for your planning. So I do not know what's
this
going to
can't
change.
be the only one.
Yes,
you need.
because this is like for urban planning. Okay, we are going to talk about this later, but in other like other countries, like in the US, where Uber was asked for similar data, the idea was okay. Should we want to know one where people get the most rides from, where they stop, and one of the reasons they gave was okay. We want to know how we plan our roads, right? So if you drive around Nigeria, you see where they say no parking allowed, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted a situation where okay, we can designate certain places for drivers to park when they're waiting for a ride.
Mm-hmm.
So I've also heard of cases where Uber drivers or their passengers Uber drivers mainly have to like roam around an area for a bit while the passengers come down to meet them, or while the riders come down to meet them. So perhaps if the government has data on where these guys typically
experience this.
yeah, then they can say, okay, we are designating these areas for you to park and wait for riders. Perhaps that happens, but like
there's
I said,
no precedence and
Yeah.
we don't have any proof that okay, you've really used data to solve the problem. But I would also play the devil's advocate and be angel's advocate. Maybe this is when they would turn a new leaf. I mean, we can't really say. This might be the one time when they decide, okay, let's use this data. Or could this just be, Lagos is doing it. Why not?
Edo State.
Why not
Even-
Edo State? What's stopping us? So
Even the league, and another thing that makes me not very comfortable with this data sharing is in Lagos State in 2020 they signed an agreement with
Uber.
all these e-hailing companies that okay, you share data, and it wasn't live data, right? Which is what Uber has an issue with. Why they are having
That's
issues
so
with the
funny.
Lagos, yeah.
Right.
So Uber said, "Oh, we'll share data, right?" And they started sharing their data via, they call it a secured folder, right? But now,
Make you don't be saying that Google Drive.
but now the government now wants to change it to
Live data.
live data, and then they said they want to identify riders and drivers, so that if there's an emergency, right? So why are you so worried about people in e-hailing rights?
Because
For example, why don't worry about the
I
common
think-
man?
No, I
in
Yeah,
yellow
just
bus?
this,
for
I think
example.
I understand. No, I don't understand.
Okay.
So I'm trying to say that okay, if you want to monitor something or like look for a trend or something, it's easier with structured platform that already
Okay.
have existing infrastructure
Okay.
that they can use to transmit this thing
Mm.
with time. Most of these people, they have their own monitoring rooms where they used to monitor their vehicles, move,
But-
inDrive, and all they have it.
Yeah,
But
it
yes,
is.
I'm coming.
Mm.
So I understand. So I wouldn't even say these riding platforms. Maybe they are trying to protect their riders
Mm.
or something. I don't know whether they're trying to protect their customers or just trying to make sure their own privacy setting and privacy policy is not breached in the process. But I think we should talk about the possible implication of sharing your data with government. What could go wrong?
If you are wanted,
Everything that can go wrong can go wrong.
You know what I think could go wrong? There's been different cases of data on government platforms making it to the dark web, being sold, publicized, and we understand how the government
BVNs.
exactly no how every other day I have this was ethical hacker that we just see something about is it Palestine? Pakistani, right? Thank you. And she shares random anytime you see something like Nigeria in it, he just shares this one. They are marketing this one. They are trying to sell this one. I know. And when Emmanuel was still reporting about that space in 2020, 2021, there are times that we just reach out to the government, and this is what we found, and zilch, nothing, did not say anything. So just imagine if a platform, a ride-hailing platform is sharing live data with government, and there's no secured place that it goes to and it gets out. Somebody will know when I went to the hospital, or when I went to see my parents or something like that, and I'm at risk. So a lot of things could go wrong. A lot of things could go wrong. But I think government has to intensify efforts to build a reputation that would tell citizens that whatever it is that is getting to us is safe. But no, I don't think Nigeria government has
Uber is
gotten to
actually
that
not
point.
saying because of their own privacy policy, but what they are afraid of is, lawsuits and things like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
they are
to be
looking
fair,
out for
they
themselves,
shouldn't- to be fair,
basically.
they shouldn't even be scared. How many Nigerians even have this trying to drag out a lawsuit with them? But
Until
really,
it
the thing is
happens.
that data is. So I think Uber has had this issue in the US, where the US government, I think even in Canada, they were asked to share their data.
Is it live?
So that was a problem. They didn't know if they I think initially there were some, should we give you live data or not? But okay, yes, they did not give live data in some cases. But finally, I think so. They have data for different areas, and they have data on airports. So what I found out is they could actually get they were sharing data on the vehicles with identification, like plate number.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have my plate number in any structured system, you should be able to find who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So they were actually sharing that data with the government. Although there were some cynical people who said, well, the reason they released, so it's called the I think Uber Transparency Report. The reason they released that report was so that they could get the public to kind of fight for them against the government.
But
And
they
I think it
didn't.
makes sense because really that data is. When I said that, I wasn't very comfortable because
Yeah.
imagine the
wouldn't
government. Yes, I know you probably know my house, but now imagine
where I am at
My
every point
every
in time.
yeah, imagine that 5 times in a week I have to be at a specific place at a specific time,
Yeah.
assuming I use Uber frequently.
Or ride dealing.
I mean, it's not exactly an exciting
Yeah. So
prospect for me.
I think it's still it's still going to be a long fight. I don't know how many riding platforms have considered
Both.
to the one that is going on in Lagos. Both has considered to share live
Are they sharing
data.
live data now?
So, from what the commissioner for transport said, he said Uber is the only one
That is
Right.
yet to.
that is not expressing their disappointment in Uber and all those ones. But the fact is, Uber is the only one that is saying
They're having pushbacks.
yes. So I don't know if that automatically means
Every
right
other
now
person or
Lagos
whether
State
they are-
government knows where I am at every point in time whenever I use
Use
both. I don't
both.
know, but what they said is Uber, do better, give us live data. Yeah, this way.
Yeah. We just hope that this gets sorted and no one's right is breached.
Amen.
Is breached in the why are you saying amen? No one's right is
You
breached
should-
in
you
the
should say
process.
amen. To listen to the full episode of this podcast, visit podcast.techpoint.africa or search for Techpoint Africa Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms.